Last time on Young Justice Target, Perdita has been kidnapped, only for her to be found by Brion, Geoforce, and his Infinitors, with them doing battle with the henchmen of Count Vertigo, as well as the odd Lexo suits that had previously kidnapped Perdita. However, when Brion managed to save Perdita, it was obvious that this was in fact Everyman. Is this a plan to further control Brion? And do our heroes know that Perdita has apparently been rescued? What about Ollie, Green Arrow, and Dinah, Black Canary, who are still in a coma, as well as a few others? What's going on? There's an odd conspiracy afoot. Join me as I find out what might be going on, won't you? Alright, an awesome cover. We got my boys Nightwing and Robin. Does this mean we'll actually get to see a little bit of Tim in this issue? Please. You got Nightwing's team with Miss, Orphan, and Spoiler, and Robin's team of El Dorado and Looker. Okay, we pick up with a transmission from Perdita where she says, "No, really, I'm fine. It was frightening, but King Brion saved me. Now I'm simply tired. Very, very tired. It seems being kidnapped and rescued in quick succession is quite taxing. I'll call you tomorrow, I promise." This is Young Justice Target, issue 3, titled Evocative Intel, written by Greg Wiseman, art by Christopher Jones, colorist Jason Wright, letters Wes Abbott, cover Jones and Wright, variant cover Megan Hertrick, editor Ben Mayers, senior editor Katie Kubert. Wonder Girl asks Perdita, "What about the guy behind it all? Your uncle, Count Vertigo?" Perdita states, "I never laid eyes on him." Geoforce then adds in, "He's still at large, but Mokovio will bring him to justice, and the Queen is safe here." Wonder Girl then addresses Geoforce saying, "Thanks, Brion. I know we haven't, seen eye to eye much recently, but thank you." Brion states, "Of course, Markovia out." Beast Boy, in the back with Wingman, states, "Something's not right." Wonder Girl kind of dismisses this, saying, "God, come on, this is good news. Perdita's safe. You should feel relieved." But Beast Boy says she didn't ask if Denny was alright, or Ruquette, or Dinah, or Ollie. Last she saw, they were all unconscious, in coma. And we see Green Arrow still in the hospital bed, still in the coma, being looked after by, that's gotta be Arrowette. Sissy King Jones? I always call her Cassie for some reason, but there's no A in her name. It's aCissie. Whereas Wonder Girl, Cassie, is spelled Cassie. Speaking of which, Beast Boy asks Wonder Girl, "Cassie, you know Perdita. Does that make sense to you?" Wonder Girl gives Beast Boy a bit of a look, but then gets on her comms stating, "Raptor Squad, I need your report." We pick up with Robin in Paris, swinging through the city, stating, "Working on that right now." We then pick up with Henchy being chased down as he says to himself, "Oh great, just what I need, a Bat Brat." El Dorado appears in front of him with a smirk, stating, "Bat Brat? That's rude." Henchy skids to a stop and runs the other way, as El Dorado calls out to him, "You're running? That's even ruder." El Dorado then warps in front of Henchy yet again, stating, "Borderline disrespectful." Henchy says, "Crap, crap, crap, crap," as he's tied up by Robin and is brought to the floor. El Dorado continues on saying, "And foul language isn't helping." Robin then steps to the side as Looker approaches. Robin says, "Looker, do your stuff." Looker says, "You got it, boss." And Henchy can only lie there tied down saying, Hey, stay out of my head." But El Dorado holds him down saying, "Still very rude." Robin turns to Looker and asks, "Got what we need?" Looker states yes, but the news isn't good. Meanwhile, at Vladivostok, at some hospital, I guess, Nightwing is talking to a doctor, and he says, "We're part of a United Nations commission authorized by Secretary General Troya herself." It's unfortunate we don't get to see Donna do much in the series, but I like that she helps in little ways. The doctor questions Nightwing, "Aren't you a little young for that?" Nightwing states, "I'm working towards my doctorate. And the young ladies over there have earned their internship, believe me." There's something suggestive about the way he says that. Nightwing asks, "How long have these 5 patients been in a coma?" The doctor states, "Nearly 2 days now. We believe it's some sort of toxin." Nightwing says, "We've seen this before, and may have an antidote. I'll get back to you." As the doctor leaves, Spoiler turns to Nightwing and questions, "Your doctorate?" Really? Nightwing simply states, it could be a doctor. Of something. What do you got? Spoiler informs him, commonality. 5 patients total. 2 miners, 2 geologists, and a mining engineer. Mist is talking with one of the workers' wives, asking, before he collapsed, where was your husband working? Gotta love Orphan in the background there, just blending in with the wallpaper. Meanwhile, at Markovberg, Geoforce is escorting Perdita with Lizard Johnny and Jet. Geoforce state, you'll be safe here, Perdita. You can rest until your people come. Perdita questions, alone? Unprotected? Oh, well, it's me. Geoforce reassures her, stating, this is Jet and this is Lizard Johnny, 2 of my best cadets. They'll be right outside your door. Perdita simply says, thank you, Brion. And as she enters her room, slowly closing the door, Geoforce tells his cadets, nobody gets in without my permission. Jet says, right, boss. And Johnny states, understood. And as the door is closed, Perdita says to herself, so this is how the other half lives. That's not ominous. Meanwhile, in Paris, Eldorado has released Henchy, who goes running into the night. Eldorado says, adios, amigos. Hasta la próxima vez. I understood maybe about half of that. Meanwhile, Robin's on his communicator saying, Raptor squad to hub. Wonder Girl says, what's the word, Raptor? Robin informs her, Looker just scanned Joe Henchy. Looker adds, destined from birth, apparently, for his gig as lead henchman to Count Vertigo. What does that mean? Okay. Wonder Girl questions, and Looker informs her, well, until the other night, Henchy was in regular contact with Vertigo, actively searching for a way to bust his boss out of prison, but they hadn't figured anything out yet. So Henchy wasn't even in on it. So Henchy was fairly certain Vertigo hadn't planned his own escape, and had nothing to do with Perdita's kidnapping, as killing or taking her would no longer secure him the Latvian crown. True, he can't really rule. Could just be for vengeance, though. Wonder Girl says, but Perdita was found among Vertigo's cronies, so what's going on? We then have Geoforce walking with the rest of the Infinitors, Cobalt, Trajectory, Everyman, and Fury. Brion, Geoforce questions, they all got away? All of them? Fury states, sorry, your majesty, but Everyman's the only Infinitor who can fly. Everyman just gives a shrug and says, I tried to follow as a bird, but couldn't keep up with those power suits. Geoforce curses, mother of good. Trajectory also shrugs and says, sorry, boss. Geoforce and his crew roll up on the cadets, stating, how's the queen? Johnny responds, it's been quiet. We think she's asleep. Geoforce says, I hate to wake her, but we need answers. But as he opens the door, he's nowhere to be seen. What? She's gone? Search the palace. Search the grounds now. But what he doesn't see is Everyman and Trajectory give each other a wry smile. Again, subtle. The thing here is, what's the plan? What are they up to? Why let Geoforce know that Perdita is gone? Well, Perdita. Meanwhile, with Nightwing's team over at Crystalmal? I don't know how to say that. Nightwing informs his team. Crystalmal is a small hamlet 30 miles north of Vostokha. Oh my god, my poor tongue. A mining camp outside of town is the region's primary employer and has been closed for a week with no explanation. Is also the only thing all 5 coma patients have in common. Miss, stay loose and stand guard up here. Miss says, roger that, boss. Nightwing then says, spoiler, Orphan, you're with me. They head into the mine, attach their grappling hooks to the top of the shaft, and rappel down. And as they make their way to the furthest depths of the mine, Nightwing says, looks like they discovered an underground branch of the river. Spoiler questions, wonder what else they discovered. Nightwing says, let's find out. And they all hit the ground and start taking samples. Nightwing tells them, transmit all data to Oracle. Spoiler responds, right. Mist comes over the comms saying, boss, company's headed your way. 6 of the same armored goons who kidnapped Perdita and busted out Vertigo. They get battle ready, and Nightwing says, understood, miss. Nightwing tells his team, remember, carve up their armor, not their people inside. Probably saying that specifically to Orphan, who immediately jumps in and cuts off one of the Luxo suit's heads. Okay then. Nightwing shouts, Orphan! Robot? Yep, it's a robot. Nightwing noticing the sparks coming out of the decapitated head, says, It's a robot. How did you know? Orphan gives a few gestures, and Spoiler says, she says body language revealed they weren't human. Nightwing tells her, yeah, got that. I can read ASL. Okay, you three, take them all out with extreme prejudice. I have work to do. And as more of the Lexobots now come in, blasting away with their sonic cannons, the four heroes scatter. Mist comes upon one of the Lexobots saying, now if I'd solidified just a tiny bit of me inside you, ew, but she manages to short-circuit the Lexobot, saying, yeah, that's what I thought. Spoiler then throws a shuriken? Projectile? Throwing knife thingy? Whatever. At the Lexobot, nails it in the neck and it explodes as she says, had the same basic idea. A little goes a long way. Meanwhile, Nightwing takes off the faceplate of the severed head, saying to Robin and Oracle, okay, fellow Bat Brats, I need quick consult. These bots are way beyond Vertigo. Whose tech is this? Man, Lex Luthor really doesn't put that symbol on a lot of things in this universe, does he? Because, I'm sorry, that symbol on the chest plate and the colors, I'm just like, it's Lex Luthor. But Robin says checking, and Oracle says searching. Meanwhile, Mist looks on at the carnage that Orphan is inflicting upon the Lexobots, questioning, should we? Spoiler simply says, no point. No need. She's got this. So we see Orphan stab into two of the Lexobots. They explode as she jumps out of the way towards the stalactite. She swings around the stalactite, manages to jump on another Lexobot, takes her sword, stabs it in the back of the head, and it goes crashing to the ground. Hell yeah. Miss sees this and says, I could have done that. Spoiler responds, no you couldn't. Miss also adds, no I couldn't. Meanwhile, Nightwing asks the two Bat Brats, anything? Robin responds, everything. These machines contain proprietary technology common to a certain breed of spider bot we've dealt with before. Nightwing states, so Vertigo's not behind all this. Robin responds, no, it's been Lex Luthor all along. It's been Lex Luthor all along. And I still don't understand what's the plan here. I really don't understand what the plan is here. We see Lex Luthor evilly sitting at his chair, just ominously looking at nothing in particular, just being a super villain. You gotta love the giant mural of himself right behind him. I don't know what the plan is here. Why kidnap Perdita? Perdita's still gone. Was this all a wild goose chase? Because thinking about it, Robin's team went after Henchy, who knew nothing. Nightwing's team went after the toxins that Green Arrow were injected with, which led them to essentially an ambush. Lex Luthor set them up, but to what end? Are they trying to build Geoforce's paranoia? I don't get it. I really don't get what the plan is here. Alright, we cut to the backup story, which adapts more of DC Showcase Green Arrow, called Young Justice Targets Narrow Escape Memory 3. Arrowette muses to herself, thinking, we all know the story. It's prime Arrow family lore, and happened just over 10 years ago. We see Green Arrow defending Perdita, saying, hey princess, name's Green Arrow. I'm here to help. And as Henchy readies his camera gun, he says to himself, all I need is one clear shot. But all he sees is Green Arrow ready to shoot down the barrel of his camera. And thus it is so, an arrow comes flying through Henchy's camera gun. But as other henchmen come in, shooting at Perdita and Green Arrow picks up Perdita, running away up the escalators, saying, clock's at midnight, princess. Better go before we turn into pumpkins and get smashed. Green Arrow readies a zipline arrow. He hooks it into one end, gets ready to fire the other one, saying, okay, princess, arms around me and don't let go. He smashes in the window, sending the other end of the arrow to somewhere, and they go ziplining through the terminal, being shot at along the way. One of the henchmen gets on his comms and says, Merlin, the bird has flown. You have the green light. Hiding behind one of those luggage car thingies. Luggage car thingies. Green Arrow tells Perdita, "Wow, those black knights almost got us." Perdita simply states, "You do realize I'm 10 and do not require fairy tale metaphor." Green Arrow smiles, saying, "Sorry, it's my first time rescuing royalty." Perdita pulls at Ollie's beard and says, "It is quite a forgivable sin, Robin Hood." Green Arrow then questions Perdita, asking, "Don't suppose you know why these goons are so determined to kill you, princess?" Perdita responds, "Because I am not a princess. My father was murdered last night. I am the queen now." Green Arrow states, "You're even braver than I thought. You have an uncle, right? A count?" Perdita responds, "My only living relative, Count Warner Vertigo, who becomes king if I die." Green Arrow then questions her, "Then why risk coming to Star City?" Perdita responds, "To see a specialist. I have a weak heart." Okay, so that's tying it into the episode with Wally bringing her the heart for the transplant. Green Arrow takes Perdita's hand and says, "From where I crouch, Your Highness, there's nothing wrong with your heart." Was that moment in the DC showcase? It's been a hot minute since I've watched that. Green Arrow then picks up Perdita and says, "Okay, it's quiet, time to move." But as he runs off, he doesn't notice Malcolm Merlin atop a roof, preparing 2 arrows, saying, "I believe I'm going to enjoy this." He lets the arrows rip, and they pierce Green Arrow, one in the shoulder, one in the leg, as he cries out in pain. But this memory comes to an end as Tigress calls up Arrowette, saying, "Tigress to Arrowette, mission time." Arrowette responds, "On my way," as she readies herself to head out. I really got to go back and check out that DC showcase, because I don't remember Perdita saying she had a weak heart. If she did, let me know in the comment section below. But also, what is Lex Luthor's plan here? I mean, we're at the halfway point. 3 issues out of 6. But I'm so confused. What is Lex Luthor up to? I mean, of course it's not good. When is it ever when it comes to Lex? But how does he benefit? Is this one of just the machinations of the light to gain control over Perdita's kingdom? Or is there something more? I'm very interested from hearing from you. But also remember to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for notifications so you don't miss out on the next issue of Young Justice Targets. But until then, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din, and I hope to see you in the next video. Take care, and bye-bye!